I'm never actually sure when I'm actually live on this thing. Ah, it says that I am now live, so I guess I'm now live. But first, it's decided that it's going to crash, so I'm going to try refreshing it and make sure that everything is actually working. Because there's no point in us presenting the show properly if the stream isn't actually working. Right. Is it? Or isn't it? Yes, it is. So, lads, lasses, people with glasses, and of course, all of those in between, my name, in case you didn't already know, is Dexter, and welcome to tonight's low energy live stream, where I've had a lot of coffee today, and I'm still kind of buzzing. I've had more coffee than I normally do, and yeah, I still feel really, really good. So, yeah, I was live before you did your leg slapping. Oh well. Hi there, Paul. Hi, Colin, and hi, Ebola. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It is a pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you. Now tonight, I know I say this every single stream that I do, but I am really unprepared tonight. I posted up asking for games yesterday, so I was late on doing that. I normally give myself 2 days, and then I give a little bit of time for to write stuff down. Hello there, Albert. Also, hello there, get me to 1,000 subscribers for doing nothing. Is there anything that I can... Can I call you something else for short? And yes, this is the second round. So, yes, I am very badly prepared tonight, so I hope you can have some fun with us, and I hope you find this entertaining. So yes, I posted up yesterday, which is a day late, asking for who was hosting games and what was going on. So yeah, I'm late on doing that. Also, I haven't really done that much research into topics to talk about today. So I am really bad this week. And yes, I know, lighting behind us, but unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that. I've tried hanging my green screen up so that I can try and block out some of the light coming through the window, but unless I shift everything around, it doesn't look like that's going to make that much difference. I'm thinking in future, I might actually have a swap round on my desk and try putting my cam over in this corner and try facing over that way. But there's not that much behind us, so I think I can get away with it. Anyway, let's drop into the comments here a little bit. Colin says he's still hyped up on his Eskimo from earlier. I'm not surprised, Colin. That drink must have been banned for children. There is no way that you could give that drink to a child and not have them turn into the Flash. So yes, I'm really not surprised you're still buzzing off that. Good evening there, Tony. Thank you very much for dropping in. And get me to 1,000 subscribers for doing nothing. Says, haha, yes, just like ketchup. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but from this point, I shall just call you Ketchup then. Artwood, hello there. Thank you very much for dropping in. It is a pleasure to see you, my friend. And I must confess, I haven't watched all of your MG100 review yet, but I am working on it. And I've got to say, the video is looking fantastic already. I always say it, but every time I see one of your videos, they just get better and better. The shots at the beginning where you've got the sort of glamour shots of the marker, and I think it's the gamma core and stuff like that. Looks brilliant, mate. Everything is brilliant. James Tully signing in as promised. Thank you very much for dropping in, mate. It's a pleasure to have you here. It really is. So, now that we are up to 10 concurrent viewers, which I don't believe one of them is me today, and we're now down to 9, but now that we've got a few people in, I suppose I will drop on to what games are available to play this weekend. So, according to my little notebook, now I may miss some stuff out here. I did notice one game that I asked about. Somebody did try and sneak in an airsoft game without us noticing. I caught it at the last minute. I started writing the details down and then spotted that it was airsoft. So, I'm very sorry, airsofters, but I will not be giving your I will not be giving your game a shout out. And yes, Craig, that's a nice anchor that you have there, a nice W anchor. Um, so yes, I will not be giving the Airsoft game a shout out. I am very, very sorry, Skirmish, but that one is not sneaking through. It's on my page though, if anybody interested in going finding it. So, first up, we have Genesis Chapter 2, Mutation, which has been held at Warp Sports, Wolverhampton. It is £30 entry and £30 for paint from that point on. This has been held on Sunday the 23rd. Kit rental, if you require it, is an extra £10. However, if you're a Warped Club member, you save £10 on entry. So, it's worth being a club member. Yeah, it's definitely worth being a club member for to get in there and get yourself a few quid saved on the entry. You know, we all want to save money where we can. So, yeah, get in and do that. Next up, the Harrogate Wraiths have open tryouts on the 23rd again. This is again on the 23rd. I think I've just said that twice without making any difference. This has been held at Urban Paintball, Retford. Entry is £15, taken at the time of booking. Paint is from £21.50, ranging to £25, but is only available on site. I get the feeling, I didn't see anything wrote down anywhere, but I would get the feeling that this is site paint only, which is perfectly reasonable. And I think for paint for as little as £21.50 a box, you can manage site paint. Arrival from 8 to 8:30 and start at 9:30. Only players who have booked in will be looked at on the day. This is, I'm pretty sure I said it, and I hope I didn't get this wrong at the beginning, but it's for tryouts. If you're interested in getting a tournament paintball, go down, have a word with the Harrogate Wraiths. If they like you like playing with them, you might be able to get yourself onto a tournament team where you can then step up and you can develop your skills. They are looking for players for anywhere from beginners and intermediate all the way up to pro players. I think it's just a case of they want to get people on board that are happy to go and put in the time, learn their skills, improve their skills, and just see where you can get from there. Next up, there is a test walk-on being held at On Target, Newquay. This is again the 23rd of the 6th, this year. It's not going to be next year, is it? It's £10 per person with bring your own or pre-order paint. Now this is the site that is connected to Martello. Now I'm not sure if this is the original On Target site or if this is his actual new site. I should have probably clarified that before I did the stream, but as I said earlier, I was very, very disorganized today. Also, I'm waiting to see if I get more details on it, and if I do, I will mention them at the time. But there is a Members Day walk-on at BZ Yarm. However, you do not need to be a member if you want to go along and take part. If you're interested in that one, I would suggest heading over to the BZ Paintball page on Facebook, have a word with them on there, and they will let you know any more details, if I don't before the end of the stream. Next, there is also open training at CPPS. Now this is 5-man training, but you may be able to get down there and guest for a team, just go out and join in, but that would be something that you'd probably have to arrange on the day. Unfortunately, I don't have any pricing for that. And finally, the Skirmish 5-man GI Cup at Skirmish Pro Training Centre, Nottingham. It is £260 per team. That sounds like a lot of money, but you do get 5 boxes of GI Custom, and that's, you only have to pay a £50 deposit. There is also paint prizes and trophies to be won, which if you go and you win a trophy, it's always nice to have that, be able to take away, stick on a mantelpiece or something, or it's just stick on a bookcase or a shelf or something, and have something to look at after the event. And the Jokers will also be holding a raffle for charity. So if you can get to one of those games, guys, go down, have a word with the players. If you can't play, as I always say, if you can't play, go down and just support the games. You can, if in some events, if it's a tournament style event, you can go and do things like guesting or just support teams in the pits, because any help for teams that are playing tournaments, if you go and work the pits for them, they will be very, very appreciative. It's especially when you're playing fast turnaround games. You've got a lot to do between those games, especially if you're a small number of players. Say, playing like 5-man with a race format where you've got to be back out within a minute or so, or even less than that potentially. Every second counts, and if you've got somebody that's willing to go down and help you out, that is amazing. It also gets you down onto sites, socialising with teams and with players, and potentially could give you an into getting into a team in the future. As for like walk-on days, for rental days, and well, not rental days, but big games, things like that, if you can get down there, and even if you can't play, you can go down if you're a new player and have a word with other experienced players, see what gear they've got on offer, things like that. And see, maybe find yourself some new gear. If you're a new player, that's a great way for to get into paintball. Albert has just messaged us there. What do I need to know about BZ? Right, what I need to know is what is the price and what's the details for the BZ walk on at Yarm on Sunday. Can you give us some more information, and I will give that a shout out right now. Right, so dropping into the comments here, I have a little bit to catch up on. Guys, can I just ask you real quick though? Am I talking too fast for people? I realise that sometimes I let my mouth run away, and I'm trying to keep myself calm and enunciate a little bit better. But yeah, I'm trying not to let myself run away with myself, but sometimes I get a little bit too excited. So right. So Colin, the EMEC MG100 seems to be a bit of a bargain when you break it down. I would definitely agree with that. I haven't actually seen the pricing for it yet, but I would imagine it's not going to be that much different to the standard EMEC. So I'm interested in that. If anyone can let us know the actual pricing on that, then I might be able to give more of an opinion on it. So next, so get me to 1,000 subscribers for doing nothing. Says, get me, just call me Chase. I feel like every time I say get me to 1,000 subscribers for doing nothing, I feel like that could be clipped and taken out of context for me. Nick says, hola big cheese, how's the dog? Well, welcome Nick, thank you very much for dropping in. The dog is fine and has recovered from sitting on the plug on Monday night's live stream. And he has come to join me right now. So, hello doggo. Hello. Right, unfortunately, I can't move the camera around again because the room is a mess and I don't want you to see what's going on over there. But, would you like to come up on screen? Do you want to come up on screen? Come here. Nope, he's not. He's backing off again. For some reason, the dog does not like to be on camera. I think he is of the belief that it's trying to steal his soul, which is ridiculous because as a ginger, that is my job. So Paul, get your own live stream, Airsofters, or join the big boys and go magfed. Well, yes, that is an option. Albert says, Artwood, love the video on the EMEC MG100, which, as I said, you know, I haven't watched it all yet, but everything that I've watched on it so far has been great. I think I was around about 12 minutes in or so. Colin says, Dex, Craig Mooney is former warrior Craig of Scotland. Oh yes, I know who he is. But thank you very much for pointing that out, just in case I didn't know. What else do we have? We have Artwood saying, thank you kindly, Alistair. So pleased it's going down nicely, apart from your first thumbs down already. That'll be one of the Die fanboys. I've already kind of getting into a bit of an argument with some people on... Just a little bit of an argument with some people on one of the MagFed pages. Because I am a little bit of an Eclipse fanboy myself. Not massively. I haven't got a particular marker brand that I'm particularly loyal to. But I like Eclipse stuff. all I said was that my money between the two of them would be on the MG100. And I got told it's not the marker, it's the player, which I totally agree with. But if I had to choose between the two markers, mine would be on the MG100. That's just the way it is for me. So, yeah, I would just ignore that. I would. Yeah, video was brilliant. Ignore the thumbs down. Oh no, the comments have gone. Right. Craig, who said MagFed is for big boys? Jesus Christ. Well, there does seem to be a lot of players are going over to MagFed. I kind of blame it on the fact that, you know, paintball is expensive and it is a way for to make sure that you have to shoot less paint, but also because some of the stuff does look cool, but it's just not. I don't really think that MagFed's for me. I'm not saying no to it. I would potentially try it again, but I'm not saying no and I'm not saying yes. I will reserve judgment. Albert, Artwood, never. Christy gets some knobs. Indeed you do, Albert. All of you 12 people that have joined me, have purposefully joined to watch a knobhead. Paul, it's a reference to a previous stream and a t-shirt that I have for sale. Yes, indeed. And that, no, Craig, that isn't as dramatic. And there's not that much drama here. There could be, but I try and remain neutral on most things for this. So if there's drama, it would have to be because, well, because there's drama everywhere. Colin says, me enunciate never. No, well, I try, but I don't try very well. Colin, 420. Now, so it comes with a pops and 2-piece barrel, right? I suppose with the standard EMEC, you only get the 1-piece barrel. Do you get any mags with the? Oh, and you get a 10-round mag, right? That's, if you only get the 1 mag, that's a little bit disappointing. But it's not the end of the world, especially considering they do run DAM mags, and DAM mags aren't. I don't think they're the most expensive of the mags that are on the market. So 1 mag is a little bit disappointing, but also I realise that they aren't actually made by Eclipse, so Eclipse selling another product would be kind of, or another company's product would be a little bit weird. The 2-piece barrel, that's interesting, because obviously the standard EMEC only comes with a 1-piece, and I believe it's around about a 10-inch barrel, which I'm not a huge fan of. Though surprisingly, it did actually shoot reasonably nice when I tried it. Just right. So there is also, as Colin has pointed out, the EMC kit, which it is inbuilt into the marker though with the MG100 though, isn't it? So I don't feel like you're really getting the EMC kit. You're buying a marker it's a tactical marker, whereas the EMC kit was an add-on, so that was why you paid extra money for it. I may be wrong on that, and if I am wrong on that, somebody please feel free to point that out. But yeah, I think 420 is a little bit more expensive than I was thinking. But if you're getting the upgrades like the 2-piece barrel, you're getting the full EMC kit, you're getting a mag. Do you get a proper case with it, or do you just get a sort of a cardboard box with a bit of foam inside of it and things like that? Interested on that one, because obviously the case that it comes in does also make a difference. But 420, I think I would probably pay that for the MG100, especially considering it's going to perform. You know, that's the thing with Eclipse stuff. Eclipse stuff just performs. It does exactly what you need it to. Artwood says he's 12 minutes into his 4,000 hours worth of watch time. That's good, mate. I think that's going to shoot up massively now that you've uploaded the MG100 video. But I'm pleased to hear that, mate. It is really good to hear. It's good to hear that that's actually achievable. I had a look at mine and I'm like on 900 hours, so yeah. Good evening there, Ben. Thank you very much for dropping in. Wave back. Right, Tony. Tony, I've just lost your comment about the Eclipse smashing a diadem. What always break? Yes. So, yes, there. That was it. About Eclipse smashing a diadem will always break. I saw a post. Well, I didn't, unless I've posted it somewhere else. I don't think I actually posted anything about the diadem breaking, but somebody else did actually post that on it. I can't remember who the comment was by or anything like that, but there's a lot of people do have problems with the diadem. Now I haven't used one, so I can't really comment on it that much. But I know that there has been technical difficulties with previous die markers. Now that's not to say that the markers haven't improved, because I don't know. I haven't tried anything in years. But Eclipse equipment, Eclipse markers, just works. Eclipse is to tournament what Tipman stuff is to the woods. It just works. You can take it out of your kit bag, set it up, and go out and shoot. And then just dump it back in your kit bag and take it out the next time you want to play. Be that next weekend or in next year. Stuff doesn't go wrong on them very often. I mean, with Eclipse, if it's obviously like a tournament level marker, and or if it's a tournament marker and it is battery powered, you might need to change the battery. I don't think I've changed the battery in my E-Tech for about 2 years. Granted, I don't use it very often, but I think it's had the red light on it saying that the battery's been low for an easy 6 months, and it still works, still shoots fine. What else we've got? Craig, Gospel according to Dex, Magfed is for the poor. You know what it is, Craig? There is a certain amount of truth in that. It's the same as I would say that quite often. Pump is for the poor. Generally, people that are going to be... there's a lot of people that play things like Magfed, play things like Pump, or use micro hoppers that don't have a lot of money. So you are forcibly restricting yourself from being able to fire a lot of paint, which then in turn helps save money. It's some of the simplest advice I would give people on how to save money when they're playing paintball. If you still want to hit game time, but you can't afford to spend a lot of money, stick a small hopper on stick a 50-round hopper on your marker, and then you literally cannot shoot more than you can afford. If you put a 50-round hopper on your marker and you go out and play with only 50 rounds in your gun, the first few games, when you go out and spray the whole load in one go, you will end up getting mullered most of the time. But after that, you will learn to slow yourself down and learn a little bit of trigger control. I think that's something that there's a lot of players could learn. It is fun to sometimes go out and blow a load of money and buy a couple of boxes of paint and just rain paint downrange. But there's a lot of people need to learn that that's not what you have to do all the time. And it will also, I think, it'll save their pockets in the long run. Artwood says, come to Sunnybridge. I would love to. When is the Sunnybridge game that OMG are putting on? If I could go, if I could afford to get down there, I would love to. It's been probably since around about 2010 was the last time I played Sunnybridge, so it's been a while, and I would love to get back down there. It might have been at the latest 2012. There's photos on my Facebook, but that's about it. Tony, you want to do Sunnybridge, but it's 4 hours away. I believe for me, Tony, it was about 7. But mate, it's definitely worth it. Tony, if you can afford to, get yourself down there. If you can afford and you can get the time off, all that sort of stuff. It's a site that is brilliant to go and play. And there's a few sort of sneaky points as well. There's there's a couple of buildings where they've got a tunnel between them, which I believe is featured in a Hidden Hedgehog video, where you can crawl from one building to the other. But you do not want to get stuck in that if somebody starts throwing flashbangs in. It's not exactly a pleasant place to be at that point. But there's sort of apparently you can't use the lofts anymore, which is understandable. But it's a great thrill when you're holding a building and you know that you've got a bigger number of players down the stairs than you can possibly try and handle, but they can't get up to get you because you're tucked in, or there's a couple of yous up there and you've got all the ways sort of covered. You can't look out the windows because you will be shot, and you can't look down the stairs because you'll be shot, but nobody else can get up either. And if there's, say, an objective up there, it's just a case of who's going to run out of paint first, or who's going to try rushing the position first, things like that. It's just brilliant. It's similar with other indoor fields, but Sennybridge just having the full town to play in is great. Craig, you've been drunk, high, hypothermic at Senny due to amazing paintball organizer, or due to a paintball organizer that we all deeply miss. Yes, well, that organizer, they did put on some great games and some great places, and I think that is probably where I'll leave that comment. But yes, I can remember that, I'm not sure if it was the first time I was at Sennybridge, or if it was the second, where there was somebody taken to hospital with hypothermia. I believe there might have been even 2 people taken to hospital with hypothermia on the nights, because I believe it dropped down to -14. Because up on the Brecon Beacons, for those of you that haven't been before, you get the best of the best and the worst of the worst when it comes to weather. It's either brilliant or terrible. Right, now I'm just going to quickly drop back over onto this. Albert has been kind enough to provide us details for the BZ walk-on at Yarm, or the BZ Members Day, sorry. It is £20 green fee, £30 for a box of paint, or £9 for a bag. If you want to play, you must book in. Now, there is a phone number, but Albert, am I okay to dish that phone number out online here? Or I'll tell you what, the other option is I will include a link to the BZ page on Facebook in the links here, in the description section. So I will have to find a link to that, but let's see what I can do. Oh, nope, that's the wrong section. I'll just quickly BZ. So you can use you can find contact details on the BZ paintball page, or if Albert says I'm okay to read the phone number out, I will read the phone number out. Copy, and I will post this into the video data right down here. No, come back, right, and paste. So the BZ Facebook paintball Facebook page is now linked. So if you are interested in the BZ game, you can find the details in the description down below to their Facebook page. The other information that Albert has sent over is gates open at 9 o'clock with games intent on starting around about 10. Food is included in the price, and there is free tea and coffee available on site. So there you go. I'm not sure. I think my cam may have crashed. Oh nope, I'm moving again. Right, so what we got. Where were we? Right, Artwood. At Tony, you drove 7.5 hours to Ragnarok. And no, you're not coming to Talon. 7 hours to Ragnarok, that is a good old drive. it's like I said, it's probably about what it took me and a few of the lads for to head down to Sennybridge for one of the games a few years back. I think it might have been the Tipman Challenge 2012. I think that might have been the last time I played Sennybridge. Albert, no, the knob reference to the thumbs down. That's what I meant. I'm sorry if I said anything wrong at the time there, but that was what I meant that it was in reference to. And oh no. Obviously the fact that I said that you've all tuned in for the watching knob. I was meaning me. So Artwood, £27 for two 20-round mags on Just Paintball right now. Assuming that's for the Die Dam, or for the MG100, which I think is that's a very reasonable price. Considering I know that some mags for some markers can be about nearly that for a single mag, which that's when MagFed starts getting very expensive. I believe the only cheaper alternative to that is possibly the TPX mags, which I think you can get 2 TPX mags for about £20, is it? Or there was, I suppose you could lump the HDR50 in with it, which is, I think they're something like £15 or something, aren't they, for 2 mags? I can't remember exactly. Guys, as always, let us know if I get anything wrong what I'm talking about. There is also there was some other kind of mag that I'm sure they run for less than £20. Oh, I think it was the Rap 4 mags, which they apparently were really cheap for MagFed gear. But I don't really see much from Rap 4 now. Haven't seen anything from Rap 4 for a while. Tony, I've been in Sheffield for Stanley, missed Ragnarok due to illness, but doing Talon and hopefully Snake Pit 2. And Artwood says he'll be at Snake Pit 2. So there you go, guys. Meet up. You are both YouTubers. Do a collaboration or something. Colin, it's up on BZ. It's up on BZ for pregnancy order with all the info. And Tony says pregnancy order, which I'm also kind of lost. Albert says he's inboxed me the info about BZ. Yeah, thank you. James Tully says MagFed is for the poor. Has this person ever tried to buy a Zeta mag? Well, this is it, James. I do think there is definitely cheaper alternatives than playing MagFed, but for the most part, once you have your setup with MagFed, you're not going to be spending a lot of money on paint, which further down the line you end up saving money over. And if you think about, if you buy a low to mid-range MagFed marker, let's say, for simplicity's sake, you buy a TPX because you want to get one. Want to get into MagFed for reasonably cheap. You can buy a second-hand TPX. Last time I checked, for maybe £100. So you get a TPX, you get let's say 6 mags, 2 mags for even £25. So I was never great at maths. So £75, that would be for 6 mags. You've spent £100 on the marker second hand. So you're up to £175. Assuming that you already have most of the rest of your gear, now all you need to buy are sparklets. And you can go out and you can play, and you are now playing MagFed for relatively cheap. And depending on how cheap you want it to be, you could even just put your mags in your pockets and not have to worry about carrying anything extra. So now you have, 7-round mags. You've got 6 7-round mags. Jesus, I'm really not good at maths. What's that? 52 rounds on you at any one time. A bag of 500 rounds is easily going to last you a game, where somebody playing with a hopper may buy a full box in a game, which, say £10 for a bag of paintballs. Yeah, but it is going to be cheaper in the long run to play MagFed because you physically can't shoot the paint, shoot the same sort of amount of paint as a Hopperfed player. However, that is assuming that Hopperfed players shoot a box of paint a day. A player that is using a hopper could just as easily only shoot the same amount of paint as a MagFed player. It just depends on how trigger happy they are. But when you have the capacity to spray paint down the field, it is very, very tempting to, as Albert says there, spray a load. But yes, there is definitely alternatives that are available for ways to make your load cheap. Now, the cheapest way that I would suggest for playing paintball would be, I mean, this is if you were talking about buying equipment and then playing from that point on, would be buy a stock class marker, and you can use 10 round tubes and 12 gram sparklets, or even use stock class tubes with a normal tank on. So then you haven't got the rate of fire capacity, even without a semi-automatic MagFed marker would, because you physically have to recock the marker by hand every single shot. The only alternative to that would be a pump, like a bolt action or pump action MagFed marker, such as the Hammer 7 or the SAR 12. Although if you're buying a SAR 12, you are getting right up there in expenses. But yeah, stock class is probably the cheapest way to play paintball. But you want a good stock class marker, you're probably going to spend quite a lot of money buying a good quality stock class marker. Unless you make a cheap alternative yourself, which is very, very possible, but not necessarily going to look very nice. So Artwood. So it's the 3rd and the 4th of August for Sennybridge. Unfortunately, I don't think I stand any chance of being able to make that, since I will be playing the Grand Central Classic the weekend before. I would love to have been able to make that, especially considering I really, really want to support OMG, support Black Sheep and everything that those guys are trying to do, but I can't. Unfortunately, I couldn't commit to that. Right, Albert says it's not a private number, it's the shop number, so it should be okay. Right, well, in that case, if anyone is interested in attending the BZ paintball game, the phone number is 01642 605 000. If you are interested in going, you need to know. You need to let the site know in advance so that they know that it is actually worth putting the event on. But just contact the site or contact the business, contact BZ, let them know that you're planning coming down, and they'll be able to organise a good event from that. Albert says, also, you don't need to be a member to play BZ, all are welcome, which, yes, that is definitely worth pointing out. For all it is a Members Day event, you don't obviously have to be a member to attend. Ben says, isn't the Umarex shotgun out now? Yes, Ben, as I understand it, the Umarex shotgun has been out for a while now. I believe it is the HDS? The home defense shotgun, because yes, Umarex, the stuff was originally designed for home defense. We are able to get away with using it because the stuff falls below the legal limits of what you can use for paintball. Now, in the UK, you put anything other than a paintball into the Umarex home defense shotgun, and it would be classified as a firearm under UK law. However, you use a paintball with it, you're okay. Also, you need to buy the version that does fall below the legal limit in the UK, which I believe the 11 foot-pound one should be legal in the UK, but I don't know if it will fall within the safety brackets of what you are allowed on site. However, the 7 foot-pound version, I'm not too sure what that sort of velocity would be on when shooting 68 cal. I would assume it's probably going to be quite low. You're probably looking at somewhere in the region of around about 200 feet per second for 7 foot-pound, but I'm sure that there is somebody in here that is a lot smarter than me who can let you know that. But yes, the Umarex shotgun is one that, it's another one that is on my list, which I really, really want to get my hands on at some point, but unfortunately there is a lot more on my list than my bank account can afford. Albert says, and as an extra bonus, you can shoot him. So yes, if anybody wants to shoot Albert, get yourselves down to the BZ Walk On Members Day. Tony says, where's the BZ link? Missed the talking about the game, had to pop off. Right, there is a link in the description down below which will take you to the BZ Facebook page. However, the information for that is it's £20 green fee with £30 for a box of paint or £9 for a bag. So if you're looking at playing something like stock class or just pump or even magfed, you can get a bag of paint for £9 there as well. So £29 for a day's play if you're playing magfed or pump. That's pretty damn good. Right, Tony. The shotgun. I'm struggling to. I think I've just been up far too long today. Shotgun is due to be shipped from Germany immediately. Has there not already been a load of them brought to the UK and already sold on? Or am I already ahead of myself? James says, sell me a TPX please, you'd love to buy one for that price. I believe when I sold my TPXs, I sold mine for about £75 each. But that was going back to like, I believe like 2013. So, they may have changed in value since then. I'm pretty sure I only bought one of my TPXs for about 70. So, oh well. Then he needs to learn how to aim better if he uses a full box. The thing is, James, it's just different play styles. There is a lot of players that with tournament play, a lot of what you're doing is firing maneuver. So you are firing even though you know that you aren't going to hit anybody. You're firing to keep them pinned, which is a genuine tactic that is used by pretty much every armed forces. But it's also a very cost ineffective way to play. I would say that, yeah, well, as I've said, the most cost effective way to play that I could think of would be to play stock class, and let everyone else do the heavy shooting for you. But there is also obviously different choices in there. You've got your magfed, pump, you can play open class. Yeah, and you can play effectively. You can play the same way you can with a hopper by using a box mag, but having your whatever sort of magfed setup you like, just with a box mag on. And yes, spray a load. Well, it is what people are doing, isn't it? Artwood, get that shotgun pre-ordered. Oh, you've got that shotgun pre-ordered. Artwood, I think you know what it is. I think with your sort of, the gear that you wear, your sort of style and everything, I can imagine you pulling the shotgun over your shoulder for trying to take somebody out in a building. I think if you get stuff like that on video, it'll look really, really cool. But yes, I do think sort of your loadout would definitely suit the whole sort of pulling a shotgun out and using it. It would just look brilliant. I'm just having a look here to see if there's anything I can close to see if I can get my laptop to run a little bit more smooth, but I don't think I've got anything else open at the moment. Colin, how much are they? I believe that the HDS shotgun is around about £150. I can't say that for certain, but I believe that was what the pricing was roughly when they've first been advertised. Albert, it's just the members at BZ are pussies, and if you call it a walk-on, they'll not play because they're punter hunters. Well, lads, I think it may be time for the punter hunter hunters to form up. Again, sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to get out and play this weekend because I am pretty much saving all my money for the GCC. But yes, I think the punter hunter hunters definitely needs to be done. And here's Gassy. Good evening there, Gassy. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you very much for joining in tonight. I'm very quiet tonight. Am I? Have you tried turning your headphones up? or does it work better if I put myself a little bit closer to the microphone? So anyway, talking of shotguns, the first place that I saw this, and it was the very shout out to Albert for the heads up on this. Albert tagged us in a post, I think it was earlier on this week, and maybe even been towards the back end of last week. The Maritime Paintball podcast shared a video of the new Milsig shotgun. Now, it is in a prototype stage at the moment. Louder for those at the back. So the Maritime Paintball podcast, link in the description down below, shared a video from Milsig Direct Canada from one of their booths. I believe it was a D-Day of their 68 cal shotgun that they are producing. Now, it was Albert that pointed out, it appears that one is you load it up with the paint, and it seems to load very much like a traditional shotgun. The other one appears to take, or at least appears to have a section on cutout section on the bottom that appears as though it may take a mag. Now, I'm hoping that there is a difference between the two, and that you have one option for being able to take first strikes and things like that, which would make sense if there was a mag fed version, because at the minute, obviously, feeding first strikes in a spring-loaded tube is not really possible unless they are stacked. You can't really feed them in a I think it'll be a horizontal tube, because obviously first strike rounds slot together because of that design. So I would assume that you would have to use a mag for any first strike rounds being fed. But the other one, if it is round ball, would be perfectly fine with taking, with loading a tube under the barrel, which then could be pumped up into the breech and fired like a normal shotgun. Now, I do actually have a link. I'm not going to share the video, but I'm going to share a screen capture with you, because this thing looks really awesome. At the minute, it appears that there is two different styles. You have a style where you've got a normal pistol grip on with a stock that is air out back. Obviously, it's got an adapter on for a remote line. There is also the option of having a gas through grip with the remote line on the bottom of the stock. Now, again, Artwood, this is another one I think could be really, really cool for it to be carrying on field, especially if an option could be made to house a 12 gram inside the pistol grip with just a little 12 gram changer, so it could be a self-contained unit, very much akin to a stock class Phantom. So right, guys, I am going to find where I've left my OBS here, and if I have this right, I should be able to flick over to the screen here, and here it is. Now, this is obviously being posted by Maritime Paintball Podcast. There is a link in the description to their page down below. But yeah, if you check this out, unfortunately you can't see my mouse here, but if you check out the back of the marker there, you can see the swivel fitting for a remote line, which I think is quite a nice design. It obviously means that you can use a normal stock without having to have a tank on, but I would assume that there will be options available if you want to run a tank direct out the back. This marker obviously has the hollow, I'm trying to think what it's called. Obviously has the hollow pistol grip on, which looks to be a similar sort of fitting style as an M16 pistol grip, which some of you may have changed those before, some of you may have not. Is just a case of you have an Allen headed screw, or even a normal screw for that matter, down inside the grip, down inside the grip, that you just screw a new frame on. For those that play MagFed, you've probably experienced these before. It's very, very simple to change the grips on them. What I would wonder about, though, is if that is the case, what are the air fittings like on the back of the marker for changing them? Because do you need something that's going to hide all that? Will you need to buy custom frames, or will you need to buy custom pistol grips for to sync up with this marker, or can you just use straight off the shelf aftermarket pistol grips? Looking at the back of this one, it does look like there is quite a lot of space behind that, So where you've probably got a macro line running up through, or that you can run a macro line down into the pistol grip. But it'd be interesting to find out. You can also see in this picture the space just in front of the trigger frame where it looks, it was Albert again, it was Albert that pointed this out to us, where it looks as though that would actually take a standard, or take a regular, what would be considered a regular magazine. Other than that though, yes, they are straightforward pump action shotguns. Absolutely brilliant. That that makes me moist. Also, they are threaded barrels that could appear to come with these markers. So sorry, they've got threaded tips on these barrels, so you can fit, or it would appear that you can fit aftermarket barrel tips, which again has me very excited. The fact that the potential to add on some very intimidating equipment to this thing makes me very excited. But yeah, I'll drop back over onto the main screen here now, and we'll drop back onto comments here. Right, Dr. Rush, thank you very much for dropping in. Dr. Rush says that the HDS shotgun 68 with the 16 joule would be at 320 feet per second. Right, that is actually very interesting then. So I would have to assume that the HDS 68 with I think it's the 11 joule version, because I believe there is an 11 joule version, unless I'm mistaken, would definitely fall below 280 feet per second. Now, as long as the HDS 68 can, if you can get one that falls below 280 feet per second, then I am definitely getting one. At some point, I will definitely get my hands on one of those, purely because I want to have a bit of experiment with it. See what paintballs I can fire through it, because it's going to take 68 caliber paint and first strikes, but I also want to see if it'll take smaller paint in scatter shot form. So I definitely want to try those. Now I realise that the range on it would be terrible, but I'm still going to do it. Colin says at £150 you're playing Magfed with a pair. Well, this is it. It was actually one of the guys from the Dragons that suggested when he bought his. It was the day that I went down and I bought my HDR 50. He'd been there the day before and had actually bought an HDR 50, and went back the next day and bought another HDR 50, and then was joking about buying potentially at least another two, purely so he could run a sort of like a gunslinger sort of setup where he was just had guns all over and it carried a drop bag. Which, as impractical as it would be awesome to see on the field. The idea of somebody just being like, just pulling them out, giving it pow 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 pow, and then dropping them into a bag and pulling out more. Just bring me another is just brilliant. Oh. But yes, I think being able to go into somewhere with two double-barrel shotguns, two sawn-off double-barrel shotguns, and start shooting people like that would be really cool as well. Especially if you've got them if you've got those things loaded with first strike rounds, it's gonna be so much fun just being to try and sort of long range snipe people with a double barrel shotgun. That would be worth. I'd almost pay to see that. Ben says that he'll do the maths later. I'm not sure if I've already said that one. Albert, that doesn't look like a mic. It looks like a sex toy. What? My snowball? I've had this thing for like 7 years now. This is what I used to make Call of Duty content with back in the day. Back in the day of like 7 years ago. Do you think I could get away with doing SMAR or whatever it's called? You just talk softly into a microphone. I don't think I could. Just sit in front of a microphone and and eat food. Make loads of slurping, slopping sounds. Be beautiful. Right, so anyway, the next thing I want to kind of drop back to is the Planet Eclipse EMEC MG100. It's the release date for it has finally been released. It is being released on the 5th of next month. So I believe it is currently up for pre-order. So if you want to get your hands on an MG100, get your name down, find a site that's selling it, and get your name down for it now, and you could be playing with it next month. Unless you are one of these lucky people that somehow has managed to get one far earlier than that. But yeah, I mean, if I had the money and I was interested in buying a MagFed marker, the MG100 is what I would go for. It's Eclipse, so it's just going to work. It's mechanical, so you never have to worry about swapping batteries. It's got a great bolt system and everything in it, a great valve system. It's going to work. I can't say anything more about it than that, because obviously without shooting it, my opinion only goes off previous Eclipse markers that I've used, but they are tried and tested and just work. But yeah, and funnily enough, I have already gushed over it today anyway, but go check out Artwood's video where he actually has go check out Artwood's video. It's only just recently, he's only just uploaded about 3 hours ago, with him giving a review and some gameplay of the MG100. So you can go over there and you can actually see it in action. He's done some chronographing tests with it and things like that. It's a very in-depth review and definitely worth checking out. And if you aren't already, go subscribe to the guy, because he produces fantastic content. And since he's in the chat as well, I will also give a shout out to Dr. Rush, because again, Dr. Rush produces some great content, has a great sense of humour, and I'm actually really enjoying when he's uploading videos, doing live videos of him playing VR dressed as Leon from Resident Evil 2. Yeah, go check out Dr. Rush. Go check out Dr. Rush. Go check out Artwood. Give the guys a subscribe, because they are definitely producing fantastic content. Albert says he just wants a giggity pump. Albert, that is another project that we have to get done. That has to be done at some point. Because it would just be to be quite frank, it would just be absolutely awesome. I definitely want to see that in action, and I'm pretty sure it can be done. Alright, I'm just waiting to see what this is that loads up here. Right. Come on, my laptop is ancient. The Olive Sniper is in Memphis. Ah, Gassy, right. So, have you got an expected delivery date of when that's going to turn up? I'll have a look at that, Paul. Thank you very much for sending us that. Right, I'll have to have a look at that after stream though. See what I can do. Right, I'm just going to close that for now then. And I'm going to prepare. Where is it? Right, that. I'm going to open something up here and prepare it for sharing in just a little while. Right. Right, that's that bit sorted. So, Paul, Dexter's mic in action. Well, that's it. It's not very often I actually get to see some of the stuff that's on my desk. So, yes, this is my Blue Snowball microphone. I have had it for like 7 years. It still apparently does the job. I think it works better than the headset microphone did, and it kind of looks a little bit cooler. It makes me kind of think of like old school 60s microphone. I think it was 60s. But yes, it does the job. Right. Gassy, Monday. Damn, Monday is fast. Unless FedEx choose to hold it as it's a gun. I suppose there is potential for that. but I think it'll probably get through fine as long as it's labelled up as paintball equipment. What I would worry about is import. If you don't get hit, fantastic. If you do, ooh, it could be bad. When I ordered my first GoPro, so going back quite a while now, when I got my first GoPro, I got stung for £114 through FedEx on import. That was not pleasant. I was not expecting to have an extra £114 slapped on top of what I'd already spent on a quite a high level camera, on a high level action camera at the time. Right, so then I hope I go the right way through this, and I hope I don't think I've got anything here that shouldn't be shared. So, right guys, Martello has been kind enough to contact us on Facebook. Well, actually, to be fair, I contacted him first. But Martello has sent us some sneak peeks from the next edition of the Paintball Mag. Now, I've got to point out that anything that I share here and now is not necessarily the final production. Now, I've had a quick scan through and I think the stuff here looks fantastic. If you enjoyed it as well, please drop Martello a message and let him know that you liked it and what you think of it. If you don't like it, don't be a dick, but let him know as well what you don't like, what you might like to see improve. But bear in mind that these are only a couple of pages, a couple of snapshots, and they're not screenshots, they are photos taken of the computer. So I'm going to flick over to the share screen. So like I said, guys, these are photos of some of the images on screen, not screen captures, obviously. And yeah, let me know, and if it's something that if you want to just tell me in the stream here now, unless Martello is actually in the chat himself, let me know and I'll pass it on. Or just contact Martello yourself, or contact the PBM magazine page, which I have linked the PBM magazine page, or the Paintball magazine page in the description down below. Contact them, let them know what you like about it, let them know what you dislike about it, and let's be positive about this. Let's have a bit of a share. So anyway, right, I'm going to flick on the screen here now. So I believe that is one of the sandbaggers, and I quite like the front cover here. It's very very active looking. Player caught in action. I don't know who that is. Maybe somebody in the chat does. Hell, maybe we have the player themselves in the chat at this moment. But yeah, I like that as a front cover. I think that's a great pick to go with. I don't think it's as good as this one behind us, mind. But it is definitely a cracking page there. And at the minute, we have, what is that? The UK... I can't actually read that from here. That's the UK Student Cup, UK tournament scene. There is a marker review, or marker reviews. Reviews, yes. North versus South big game, which I was there. And Everwar Continuum. So, right, I think all that stuff is definitely stuff that I am actually interested in. I like having a look at market reviews and stuff because sometimes I like to have a look at what I know I can't afford. Right, now let's find this here and hopefully I don't mess this up. So North versus South Wasteland. Again, personally, I think the layout on this stuff is actually really good. I'm just gonna flick over to this side and actually see your comments. Aha! Hello there, Martello. Thank you very much for dropping in. Your timing is absolutely perfect. So you can actually see there. I'm pretty sure in the bottom left-hand corner here of this picture, I'm pretty sure that is the Targa 2 tank. I'm pretty sure that's the tank that I got to have a ride in. And also, I believe that tank that is on the right-hand side there was the little, I think it was a Renault Clio that had been converted, which by the end of the event, it started beginning of the event as a little black Renault Clio and ended the event as a completely slick and gloopy multicolour tank. Yes, that little tank definitely got one hell of a pasting. Um, but yeah, that to me looks absolutely fantastic. So that's covering the wastelands. Well, that in fact, no, the wastelands was the entire theme of the event, wasn't it? Yeah. Um, but it's obviously you've got some segments in there that talk about the night game, which was the evasion night game, which I did not take part in. I do not do night games. After playing Bridge a few years back, I do not do night games anymore. And fantastic little montage there. So you've got a load of the pics that Paintball magazine took, and you've got some cracking ones in there. And you see, there's one that I really like down there, which is a player that's got a Pinocchio on it, which is actually it's a classic Pinocchio by the looks of it, with the full 100 extra 180 round nose cone on it, which you don't see many of those. It's always amazing that it's some of the stuff like some of the games like North versus South, where you see players that don't necessarily get out very often, where they rock up with gear that you don't see all that often. You see it about as regular as you see these players. So because the guys that only come out once a year, or maybe he's only come out every few years, you see things like old Pinocchios and old Automags, old Cockers, and things that just look really cool. Um, I think that is also is I think that's a photo of Tommy Webb with his rocket launcher, which is about halfway up on the not rocket launcher, his Havoc launcher. I think that's about halfway up on the left hand side there. I think that might be him. You've also got some of the Psycho Clown. Is it Psycho Clown posse? Um, I can't remember their exact name, but some of the guys that came over, some of the guys and girls that came over from America. But yeah, that's a fantastic little montage there. Also, I'm trying to make sure I click on the right thing here, so I don't go off the photos. We've also got stuff from the UK Woodland Masters, which again I'm interested in reading about. I've been enjoying some of the content, which has been getting shared on places like Nicky T's YouTube channel. Some of the stuff that he's been sharing from the UK Woodland Masters is really good, and I'm loving the fact that some of the guys from the Woodland Masters are sharing stuff, and the event sounds really good. You know, classic woodland tournament. It's going right back to the kind of the roots of paintball, and is just brilliant. Drop out in the comments here for a sec. Albert, well, at least we can see the microphone and not my imaginary dog. I don't. Just because my dog isn't small enough that I can literally pick him up and put him on camera doesn't mean that he is imaginary. Gassy says, we love Paintball Magazine and Martello. Yes, indeed we do. He does a fantastic job. Tony says, got to, but I'm not sure if that's in relation of... yes, I believe that is actually the beginning of another comment that he's been posting. Martello says, thanks Gassy, came to our rescue for speed and Borderlands for photos. Actually, that's something. Gassy, how did Borderlands go the weekend? Can you give us a sort of a mini review in the chat here and now? Just a little review. Let me know how it went. Also, so Tony says, got told off for that. Cleo had two guys shooting it with max loaders, threw a smoke and rolled in the top. Yeah, they probably didn't like the idea of getting a smoke grenade inside the vehicle. Although I've actually wondered for a while, if you look up on YouTube, paintball tanks, there was a guy in the States that actually created a fully functioning, I mean it was smaller and it was made of wood, but created a full-on tank, had working tracks and everything. And it was brilliant. Now I did wonder, if you were to get a mesh waste paper basket, cut a hole in the back of the tank at some point, so or like on the top, and fix that basket up underneath, could you have players drop a smoke in there as a way to eliminate the tank? Which I thought that would be kind of cool. That would be really cool to see it in an event. But of course, people don't like. Generally, site organisers don't like players getting too close to the vehicles. Yeah, I suppose accidents could happen, which wouldn't be good. Martello says the Clio also kept stopping. The tanks aren't meant to stop. Keep those doggies rolling. Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, there was one point, I think it was near the beginning of Sunday, where the Clio did kind of stop in a junction relatively near where some of us were, and which I suppose, if they're not meant to stop, they're not meant to stop. But a tank posting up on a position, in a way, it kind of just adds more to it, because it means, it obviously allows the enemy team to actually get a bit of movement, but also means that you have to fight a bit harder and smarter. So it's kind of fun. But also, if a tank if the tank is on the side that is actually winning, decides to drive forward, park up, and let the enemy team roll up behind it, it's a bit naff, and it's a little bit. It's unfair, but then again, there is the expression, all's fair in love and war. So what can you do? I'm not an event organizer. It is not up to me to decide how to make games fair. It's just up to me to critique them. It's up to me to talk to you guys, and I suppose tell event organisers what we think and what we like. And if you guys don't do it, then I will. And hopefully, if you guys mention it in here, and we happen to have event organisers or photographers or e-celebs or anything like that, if you give your opinions in this chat or on the other one, on the other chat that I have on Mondays, then hopefully people will hear them and they'll try and change things to suit the market. And that's what I would like to see come from these streams. Tony says, yeah, he stopped near the tanker and had CK and a few of us, Demon Legion and loads of others, went up with the shields shooting it. Well, that'll do the job. If you cover his windscreen with paint, he can't see where he's going and has to stop. In which case, you then overrun the vehicle, pull the drivers out, and do what needs to be done. I am of course joking. It's not right to be pulling people out of tanks at events. I've felt like doing that myself before, but heat of the moment. Albert, he says, have you seen Wolf's video he shared about paintball in Russia? No, I haven't. Is it on his Facebook page, or is it something that has been shared like on his YouTube channel, or what's the situation? And also Albert says the tanks on there are mental. Well, the tank on there is mental. No, but I'll have to definitely have a check of this, Albert. If you send a link over, at some point, not necessarily right now, because I don't know what'll happen if you send us a message. But yeah, if you send us a link over at some point, I will check that out. Anyway, before I get back too deep into the comments here, let's finish having a look at this. I believe I have one more picture of the magazine itself to check out. So flip over to this. It is, obviously, as you guys can see, gun review of the Planet Eclipse 170R. Very nicely laid out. Stripped down, all that sort of stuff. It's a very nice layout there, a very nice sort of setup, the way that's all been displayed. And personally, I think that everything that has been done with the mag there, that I've seen, I think looks really tidy. And I don't think that there is anything that I would. The only thing that, like, obviously I can't actually read the smaller writing, so I'm interested to see what the crack is, but break it down. How does the Tipman Cronus measure up? Now, is that a comparison of the 170R to the Tipman Cronus, or is it just something that needs to be changed? But other than that, that is the only criticism that I actually have of this. Now, like I said, guys, you've got to remember that this isn't finalised work. This is just some sneak peeks. But yeah, I think I will definitely be getting my order in for the next paintball mag as soon as it actually goes up for sale, which I'm hoping is going to be relatively soon if it's being worked on. Next up, guys, I also want to give a heads up again to do with the paintball mag. I've got two more things coming from the paintball mag. The paintball mag will also be doing team prints, so which, to give you an idea of that, I believe if I flick over to this screen, team prints, which I think are fantastic. Now, personally, I would rather have a team action shot than have a team just like masks off and stuff like that. But I do appreciate stuff like that, and I believe that's the Devon Sevens, and I believe that's the case. I might be wrong, but having stuff like that, being able to stick things up on the wall, so when I'm grey and old, and I've got like to be able to have photos up on the walls. That's just something that's really cool to me. The idea of being able to have photos up is just, you know, something that I can someday show the kids. Oh, you see, Albert, you see what you've done. Now I'll flick back over onto this, and I'll have to try and find where those pictures were. Right, there we go. I'll flick back to the main screen for now. But right, I'll have a look at that in private, Albert, because I don't know. I don't really want to share too much on screen. I'm trying not to share footage from other people's YouTube channels and stuff like that, unless it's small clips or I'm like properly talking over it. Because I want people to actually go and check out other people's YouTube channels themselves. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out, and I'll probably share it up on my Facebook page later on. Right, now I've got to find that message. Aha, here it is. And now I've just opened something up that I didn't mean to open. Right. So, just on that one. Right, now this is what I wanted to share next, guys. We all know that photographers have a bloody hard job on field. I mean, for one, they've got to make us look cool, which I know, at least talking of myself, I am not easy to make look cool. Making me look cool is not an easy job. Don't worry, Albert. I should have probably turned notifications off before I start the stream, but I'm not sure if Martello actually was meant for me to share this or not. But and Paul, no, gingers go white. Right, so I want to show this off. Photographers use really expensive gear when they're out in field. That's well known. You do get some photographers that go out with very cheap cameras, but you obviously, it's, to lack of better phrase, you get what you pay for. If you expect a photographer to be able to provide you with good quality photos, they need to have good quality equipment. And Martello sent us this picture over earlier on. Lens gone down. Now, I don't know the exact sort of how this has happened. It could have been shot, it could have been damaged by paint getting in or water getting in by taking photos of an event or something. But stuff like this is why you need to support event photographers. If you have an event photographer at your site, or come to your site, or turn up at an event or anything like that, if they are taking photos of you, buy the photo sets, or even if you can, buy a single photo. Now, I know, and I'm guilty of doing it myself in the past. When they post up photos with the watermark on, I'm guilty of sharing or of taking those photos myself. I know I always try and give credit, even when I get photos without the watermark on. I always try and give credit where credit is due. If I can, if I don't know, and somebody can point it out to us, then I'm more than happy to stick on anything that I share where I got the correct information, or where I got the photos taken from, or anything. But stuff like this is why it is so important to support photographers. Be it, Lucia Wood Photography, Martello at the Paintball Mag, Rich Weidenbar, Goldfish Photography. I don't know if he's actually still going, but there's a few photographers out there, and support them. Because if you don't support these photographers, you don't buy their photos, they can't afford to buy the gear that they use to make us look cool. Now, I know it's something me saying this probably isn't going to change many people's opinions. It probably isn't going to change many people's minds. But please support your photographers. They do a cracking job, and a lot of them are giving up their time to come out and just take photos, and they're not making. What's going on here? I'm not sure if I'm actually still live or not. What has happened here? Open ingestion settings. Cancel. Discard changes, yes. What the hell's happened here? Oh, I'm still on. According to Albert here, I'm actually still live, but for some reason it says that I'm not. That is very, very strange. I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm actually gonna have to have I lost? That is very strange. According to my stream here, hello there, Tinks. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much for dropping in. Yeah, that is. It's strange. I'm getting information here saying start streaming software, and then I need to put in my ingestion settings. It's even saying that my stream is not live at all. Yeah, it's saying that my there is nothing live on my laptop on YouTube there, and yet you guys are all saying I'm live. So that is really strange. I think what I'm gonna have to do, share, copy the link here, and I'm going to have to drop in and watch my own stream to see what's going on, just to make sure that things are actually running smoothly. That is rather strange. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much, Albert, for letting us know that I am actually still live, and thank you also, guys, that are in the normal chat there, for also letting me know that I am actually still live. I better turn the volume off on that so it doesn't start bouncing around. Right, now, where is my... There it is. And now I've actually... That is... YouTube just does not like me. This isn't even like a Wi-Fi problem. Right, I'm going to close that, and well, I'll leave that screen up. Right, so, go back into the comments here, I reckon, a little bit. Right. Right, what we've got. Martello says, Russia is on another level. Played a big game out there a few years back. Homemade explosives. Oof. I know that in a lot of other countries, the restrictions on what they can do for paintball are a lot more loose. For some of you older players that are in the chat, some of you may remember Borg. Was a Croatian guy that used to make content. Probably, I would have to guess, he probably was making content up until around about 2011, maybe. That's a guess. I'm not exactly sure of the dates when he stopped making content. But obviously, playing paintball in Croatia, and I've talked about it before, but there was one of his videos where he is on a second story building where there is no wall. I mean, it might have had more floors in it than that, but he's on about the second story, and he just walked up to the edge of where the wall had been, and had a bit of a look out, made sure that there was no one around, and there was a flat roofed building that was level with where he was, and he just took a few steps back and took a running jump across this probably about 4-foot gap onto a roof of a building that was beside him, and then started fighting from this flat top roof. And his content is still online, as far as I'm aware. And he had, for when he was playing and when he was making content, he had some great videos up. But there was stuff like that. I believe he also played a game somewhere where they were playing the normal game, and then they went, right, we're going to go and play in the basement. And they gave all of the players gas masks, and then threw into the basement, I think it was CS gas grenades. And the players had to wear gas masks instead of their normal paintball goggles. Now, I don't exactly approve of that, but you can't deny that that is pretty badass. Yeah, that is pretty cool, as much as it is also pretty kind of dangerous. Gassy says, Paint Tomahawk Classic, great all day. Gamer, right, oh, so this is for Borderlands, which was at Outpost Paintball, Chester, just this weekend gone. So the paint was Tomahawk Classic, which was great all day. The game areas are interesting with a couple of pinch points, which sounds brilliant. I mean, that's basically what you want. And also, I know that the site had just recently built a couple of new game zones pretty much for this event, which I absolutely love. And I'm really kind of disappointed I couldn't go and play the game. Marshalling was done by site marshals, and they left a lot. To be desired. Right. Okay. So, as I understand it, the game was good, but the marshals weren't the best. Would I be safe in saying that? Albert says, looking now, it was his on his story on Facebook. Right. Cool. In that case, I'll share it to my Facebook as well. But guys, go check out Wolf's Facebook page, because Wolf shares some awesome stuff as well. Tony says, wasn't the tank for Wolf an actual tank? If it's from the thumbnail on this video, then yes, it is. It is a real tank. It isn't just a car with a turret mounted to the top, which I'm not dissing because they're really cool. But yes, that appears to be at least 2 real tanks. Gassy, continuing his review, says the catering was great at a good price too. There was other issues, but they have been addressed as the organizer has taken them on board and is dealing with them. That's great. That's what I love to hear, that a site organizer is taking any criticisms on board and is actually going to try and rectify those where they can. For a site organizer to do that is absolutely fantastic, and it is what we want from a paintball community. We aren't a very big community, and if we don't all kind of work together to try and improve the events that we play, and then tell people that these events are great because they genuinely are great, what community won't grow? So share posts, talk to people, tell people what's great, let people know what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. That's the only way our community will grow. Martello says the text is from last issue. Right. So okay. So that's still to be updated. As I said, guys, with the magazine stuff that I shared earlier, it isn't finalized, but it is. It's not been finalized. So what you see there isn't necessarily exactly what you're going to see, but it gives you a good idea of what is to come. The text is all on a Word document being edited. That's understandable, and then you can just drop it in where you need it to afterwards. That's fair play. And as I said before there, Albert, you no need to say sorry. I should have turned notifications off beforehand. Paul, do gingers go grey, or wouldn't you just fade to pink like an old Ford red paint? No, gingers don't go grey. They go white normally. And wouldn't I just fade to pink like an old Ford red paint? Possibly. Sadly for us, I'm all still live. Thanks very much, Gassy. Love you too. Gassy says, quick steal another soul before the meter runs out. I steal souls, but then what I do is I build them up in freckles, and then over time I just kind of use those. Albert, yes, Tony, the tank and wolves thing is the real thing. Gassy, anything to boost viewer numbers watching your own stream. I am no longer watching my own stream. I don't need to watch my own stream because it has actually come back on now. Paul says, must be shift change at whatever takeaway I'm stealing the Wi-Fi off. No, it's actually that they've just opened, and I was using the McDonald's next door to the takeaway, and I'm normally signed into the takeaway's Wi-Fi, and the takeaway's just opened up. So since they've just turned everything on, I automatically reconnected to that one. No, that's why there's difficulties. I know Albert. I miss Borg. He was genuinely nice guy, and he did produce some fantastic content. He had a great mind for creating some of his own stuff. he was just all around generally a nice guy, and yeah, it's people like him that should have still been playing with Winnow. Albert says, Daniel, is it, how do you? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm guessing it's Daniel Jagodic. I've probably butchered that. AKA Borg passed away 2011, and his last video was posted the 29th of June 2011. So I was about right on when he last posted content. I know that Paintball Kitty did. She did a lot to keep Borg's content online, keep his YouTube channel going, and also because I'm pretty sure Borg would have had monetization on at the time. She did a lot to try and make sure that he kept his monetization on, and that anything that he made would then go to his family afterwards. So, guys, as much as Borg isn't, or he obviously isn't uploading content, well, I'm struggling now how to say it. The simplest way I can say it is, if you have never checked his stuff out, go check out Paintball's content. He produced great stuff. Right, so let's move on from that. Unfortunately, we are now at the point where I've run out of content to talk about tonight. So it is now up to you guys to entertain me. Now, if anybody's got anything that they would like to talk about, then I am more than happy to crack on with these for another half an hour or so. If nobody has anything to talk about, then I would guess that tonight's low energy live stream is coming towards an end. But it has as always been an absolute pleasure to have you here tonight, and hopefully this show will continue on for many years to come, and we can continue to discuss all of the issues that paintball has that we can try and rectify. If you enjoy the content that I produce on a Wednesday night, because for those of you that may be new, I do this live stream every Wednesday night from from 8 p.m. until approximately 10 o'clock, depending on how much content I've actually got to share with you. And I also do a live stream with a few friends, my co-hosts, on a Monday night where we occasionally have guests. But that stream is new, so we're still working through things. We've still got some teething problems that we are working through with. But yeah, so you never know. Someday you might actually be the guest that's on that live stream with us. So Gassy here says, tell them you're going to guest at GCC, so won't be able to report on that. So will be able to report on that in the future. Yes, that is actually the case, guys. For those of you that don't know, I will be taking part in the Grand Central Classic, which is being held at Paintfest this year. It's being held alongside Paintfest. I will be heading down on the Friday afternoon, because I'll be finishing work and then heading down. And I will be taking part in the games on the Saturday and Sunday. I believe it's Saturday and Sunday. So I will be giving you a heads up on what I think of that, what I enjoyed, what I disliked, why I was really annoyed that somebody shot us. Well, I'll be talking about that when it comes, obviously, once the event happens. That is unfortunately why I won't actually be able to play the OMG game, which is being held at Sennybridge. I believe it was outward said on the 3rd and 4th of August. So yes, the Grand Central Classic, which is being held on at NPF Bassett's Pool on, I believe it's around about the 24th and 25th, although I may be slightly wrong on that. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that one. It's going to be interesting because I think there's a bit of a mix of play. I believe there's some sub air, there's some woods ball, some hyper ball, some concept field. I'm really excited to play some of this because it's been a long time since I played any serious tournament paintball. So I'm even trying to get a little bit of fitness in before. I'm trying to get a little bit of exercise in before I go to the game. Albert says, just looked and the proceeds from Borg's page go to charity. I think that's fantastic. I believe I can just kind of remember at the time when Borg passed that there was talk about stuff going towards his family, but if anything that he's continued to make since then is going towards charity, I think that's a great thing, and I'm sure Borg would be happy with that. Yeah, so Tony says, you mean the one where you all mute the small guy? And then we have to have a guest each week, and we have Coach Trip host Brendan. Yes, Tony, that is indeed the stream I am talking about. The thing is, we don't normally mute Chan. It's normally Chan comes in and then can't hear people, so people try muting each other, unmuting each other to see if the audio will come back on, and eventually it either does or it doesn't, and we'll go from there. Unfortunately, last week, by the time we all got together online, we didn't have much time before the stream started to actually set things up, so we kind of had to do it on the fly on air. But yeah, it's quite fun, and the idea is, I think, that we want to have guests on quite regular, and to just see what happens. It's just a fun stream. It's not meant to be anything too serious, but I think everything's going fine so far. Albert says, I definitely think we need to make a Pump Fury team reality. I definitely I would agree with that there, Albert. I think I would love, if I had the money. It's another one if I had the money. But if I had the money, I would love to put a team into CPPS, a pure pump team into CPPS, because every single team that you play against is going to be playing as hard as they can, because no team wants to be beaten by the pump team. But it would be great going out and trying to play fast-paced tournament paintball with pumps and only pumps. Brilliant. Would be amazing. But yeah. Right, so guys, has anybody got anything else that they'd like to talk about? Actually, there is one other thing. I suppose I might as well shill my own merchandise. So I'll just pull up my Teespring page here, and I might as well share it with you. Nope, I actually don't want to be on that page. I need to actually find where my stuff is right now. Go back. Teespring isn't actually the simplest thing for to work with. Right. So I'm going to open all these separately, and I shall, since the last show, Albert says, less of the Brendan, it's Stavros Flatley. That's a bit uncalled for, Tony. Right then, so I'll just scroll down here so that I don't expose my email address. Right then, finally that one. I'll close that, and which one should I start with? Right, I will start with this t-shirt. Right, and so guys, if you aren't interested, feel free to drop out now. But for a couple of minutes, I am going to shill my own merchandise. Right then, so I'm going to flick back over to here. Right, so first off, we have the Albert Hall t-shirt. Yes, indeed, gentlemen, it is the Lighten. This t-shirt is in honour of the first Technical Difficulties livestream, and every Technical Difficulties livestream since, where this t-shirt is just labelled up, it is the Lighten. It only comes in purple and is in honour of one of my co-hosts of the Technical Difficulties broadcast. This one goes out to Albert. Love you, dude, but this t-shirt, it was too good of an opportunity to pass up on. Next up, we have one that goes out to the Magfed players and is purely to offend you all. Magfed is just stock class in drag. Change my mind. And it will take a lot to change my mind on that matter. It's just a bit of banter. Obviously, there is nothing serious meant by it, but I do believe that there is a certain amount of truth in it. Next up, we will go to the Magfed, and this one was inspired by Paul. It was actually Paul's idea. Magfed, it's like Airsoft, but for big boys. again, I know a few airsofters, and you know we're having a bit of banter. It's all good fun, all banter between everyone. But yeah, it's paintball is for big boys. And finally, we have the Just a Little Pain t-shirt. You can't play paintball without a little pain. Now again, I don't think that one actually puts out too bad of a message when it comes to paintball. There is a little bit of pain involved, but that's part of the reason why we play it, really, isn't it? If it tickled, it wouldn't have the same thrill. You know, you know when you get hit, it's going to hurt a little bit. So that gives you an incentive to not want to get hit, doesn't it? But yes, you can't play paintball without a little pain. So guys, if any of you are interested in any of those products, you can find them on my Teespring page, which, yes, there is a link in the description down below. Any money that you spend on buying one of these t-shirts, the cut that I get from the company Teespring that obviously actually makes the t-shirts, any money that I make from these will go towards improving my live stream stuff, which should hopefully make this more entertaining for you guys. So now that I have shilled my own products, I'll drop back over on this and I'll leave that be. Alexander Martinez says, "Hi guys, I just got a Spider Compact 2.1 Java edition for $3 at a garage sale, and it's working perfectly. Has anyone ever used this during its time?" Well, as Albert says, I've never used one, but for £3, you can't go wrong for £3. I'm actually going to have a quick look here, see just sort of what it is. I mean, spider markers are generally spiders are generally quite hard wearing. I'm just having a quick look. Is it this one? Right, so yeah, it's quite a basic spider, but Alexander, can I ask, are you a new player? Sorry, I'm laughing at somebody else's comment there, not you. Are you a relatively new player, or are you somebody that is experienced but just not sure, a little bit unsure on a marker? I'll give you a second for the answer that there, because obviously I realise that there is a delay on here. But as Albert said, for £3 or for $3, you can't go wrong for $3. I would, especially if it's working, then I would definitely say that you have not been, you haven't been bumped there. It's definitely a bargain for $3. Now, what I would say is in regards to using it is, if it can be chronographed, you know, so it shoots within the field limits, you know, the field's happy for you to use it. If you're happy for you to use it, don't listen to what anyone else says. I mean, yes, it's not a brilliant marker, it's not top of the range or anything like that, but all that matters is that you have fun. Right, Alexander, you played a bit about 20 years ago, but you're getting back into it now. Right, well, I would say that if you rock up, I will be brutally honest with you. I believe that honesty is key. If you go to a field with that marker, you will probably have some snobs, some people, basically some douches that will laugh at you because of the marker that you have. But all that matters is that you have fun with that marker. If you have fun with it and you're able to shoot paint and get eliminations sometimes, that's all that matters. All that matters when it comes to playing paintball is that you have fun. It doesn't matter if you're using high-end gear, it doesn't matter if you're using low-end gear. It doesn't matter if you're shooting 30 balls a second or if you're shooting 1 ball a second. As long as you have fun, that is all that matters when it comes to paintball. So, what the hell was that? I'm sure I see things sometimes. Yeah, that's it. All that matters is that you have fun. Again, I'm reading other comments while I'm responding to you. But yeah, this is it. It as long as you have fun, mate, and if you want to go out and use that marker, yeah, at some point you might want to upgrade and get something that's a better shooter. But yeah, go out and have fun. Chances are you'll go out and you'll use it a few times, And then if you are having fun, you'll go, right, I want to go and spend a bit of money, which I would highly recommend if you do decide to want to go and spend a bit of money, is that you go and you buy yourself a Planet Eclipse E-Mech. Fantastic markers. I shot one a couple of weeks ago. They're not exactly a high-end marker, but they perform very, very well. Just throwing that out there. But of course there is other options out there, and it all depends on how much you want to spend. Ultimately, as I said, just focus on having fun. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers your question. I realise that, obviously you were asking have I ever used one, but the best I can give you is no. But if you do and you have fun, then that's brilliant, and that's what I like to hear. Tony says that Magfed t-shirt calls you. Well, I'm assuming you mean the Magfed like airsoft, but for big boys. I'll they bonus points from me and internet hugs if you actually buy one. Albert, you want to give the Magfed is drag t-shirt to someone, and yes, I can guess who. You have flat out told me who before. Albert, no. If you want to do that, you go do it. I'll probably laugh at it, but yeah, you go do that. I definitely wouldn't stop you. I think it would just be good fun, in all fairness. I don't think anyone would take it to heart. Well, I think there's a lot of people who would take it to heart, but hey, I'm not the boss of you. Alexander, no problem, mate. I just want people to have fun. I want people to have fun playing the game that I have fun playing. That's all that's important to me. And yeah, I don't really know what more I can say to you other than that. But Alexander, if you ever have any more questions, feel free to drop in here. Around about the same sort of time every Wednesday I live stream, and also live stream around about the same sort of time on Mondays as well. So if you ever want to drop in, have a chat, feel free. You can come and talk to some of us UK ballers. Right, anyway, thank you very much for dropping in tonight, guys. I think it is about time I end the stream here now. So it has been a pleasure as always, and I shall see you all same time, same place next week, or on Monday night. And next week I may, no promises, but I may have some more designs for t-shirts that people may or may not find appealing or entertaining. And hopefully I'll be able to bring you the latest paintball news. So I'll have to do what I say I'm going to do every week, and I will actually have to do some research and find cool things to share with you. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure as always, and I shall see you all next time.